few days before Christmas, Father Eugenio Alliata tells us about the devotion to the Grotto of the Nativity, a place that has always had an attraction for the human soul. The apostolic delegation celebrated Pope Francis's birthday together with civil and religious authorities in Bethlehem. Children and youth from all over the Holy Land prepare themselves through art and a day of spirituality for the Lord's Nativity. Do not be afraid, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy, was the Christmas message of the Custos of the Holy Land, Father Francesco Patton. Thousands of pilgrims from all over the world visited the Basilica of the Nativity this year, 2018. Also, for Bethlehem in Palestine, it was a record year. I would say the most used word is incredible, because in recent years there has been a great increase, and this year it is almost, you can say, exaggerated, in the sense that it is almost impossible to enter the grotto. At times the wait can be up to 2.5 hours. Of course this creates tension, however it is a marvel. Together with Father Eugenio Alliata, archaeologist from the Studium Biblicum, we visited the site of the birth of Jesus, revered since the 1st century of the Christian era.
Il Vangelo non ci dice molte cose sui luoghi dove sono avvenute.
The Gospel does not tell us much about the places where the main occurrences of Jesus' life and death took place. We only have a little information from the Gospel, but from history of primitive Christianity, we have some greater information. It is true that Christianity in itself is not in need of locations because its faith is in people, not in places. But since the beginning, location has always had an attraction for the human soul, the soul which wants to see, wants to listen, wants to touch.
Attrazione per lo spirito umano che vuole vedere, vuole ascoltare, vuole toccare anche con la mano.
The grotto must always be presented in its natural state, the memory of the exact place of the birth of Jesus always to remain alive in time, as it is written in the original testaments.
Nel IV secolo, ancora 100 anni dopo, un altro scrittore cristiano molto importante, San Girolamo, che era venuto...
In the 4th century, another very important Christian writer, Saint Jerome, who came from Rome to live in Bethlehem and remained for more than 30 years, he too is adamant in the fact that the place of Jesus' birth was a cave. Indeed, it is his force of thought, because he says, "You see that the Creator of the universe has chosen a small hole in the earth to become man, and from there began the redemption of humanity."
Un piccolo buco della terra per divenire uomo. E da lì ha fatto partire la redenzione dell'umanità.
After the Edict of Constantine of 313 AD, freedom of worship was proclaimed and a period of rebirth began for all the holy places. With the Council of Nicaea, and thanks to the strong will of Queen Helen, after appropriate excavations, the building of the Basilica of the Nativity began, which gave dignity back to the place of the birth of the Messiah. The construction site ended in 333 AD, and Bethlehem immediately became an important religious centre. With the latest restoration works of the Basilica, wonderful mosaics have been uncovered, and which can be admired by us today. The mosaics, which were discovered recently, cleaned and restored completely, are the work of the Crusaders. They are on the walls of the Basilica of Emperor Justinian, which means that the Constantinian Basilica had been destroyed. The new Byzantine Basilica was built, which stood for a very long time. Meanwhile, so many other churches in the region were also destroyed, either because of its particular strength and solidity, or because of its importance, it has been preserved from destruction. In fact, it is preserved until this day with the exception of the roof. The construction is that of Constantine, more than 1,400 years ago.
Più in alto, nell'ultimo livello, invece, accanto alle finestre che illuminano la parte centrale dell'edificio.
Higher up on the uppermost level, next to the windows that illuminate the central part of the building, were angelic processions. The angels are represented as having just descended from heaven while they are walking on earth, but their wings are at least partly raised towards the sky, one bent, one raised, typical in doves. They are angels walking towards the grotto and probably destined to meet and to venerate the child. They represent the first who went to venerate the child. None of the men knew anything. But the angels did because they were the ones who went to give the announcement to the shepherds in the field.
Che andarono a venerare il bambino. Nessuno degli uomini sapeva niente, ma gli angeli già conoscevano, perché sono andati a portare l'annuncio ai pastori nel campo.
Since the announcement to the shepherds until our present day, the little cave of the birth of Jesus has been venerated. Last December 17th, Pope Francis turned 82, his 6th birthday since being elected Pope. And on this special day, affectionate greetings have come in from all over the world, even from the Holy Land. His Excellency Monsignor Leopoldo Girelli, Nuncio and Apostolic Delegate, and the Secretary of the Apostolic Delegation, Monsignor Marco Formica, were present to welcome the guests. In his address to the civil and religious authorities gathered for the occasion, Monsignor Girelli highlighted the fact that the Holy See underlines the positive impact of education, especially for young people, in order to achieve the integral formation of each person, including the moral and spiritual dimension for the good of society. It is encouraging to see that education in Palestine is strongly supported with the aim of building a just, peaceful and free society, recognizing the significant contribution of Catholic schools. The Apostolic Delegate then emphasized the excellent cooperation in various sectors, such as health and social care, as well as in support for peace, interreligious dialogue and human values that the Holy Church and the Palestinian state are experiencing. Citing the meeting on December the 3rd between President Mahmoud Abbas and His Holiness at the Vatican, an occasion to recognize the positive role of Christians and the Church's activity in Palestinian society, Monsignor Girelli proposed a toast to the President of the Palestinian Authority and to the people. The Palestinian Minister for Tourism and Antiquity, Rula Mayan, taking the floor, highlighted the efforts of the Holy Father in humanitarian projects, as well as his modesty and humility. She then went on to underline how today's event is at the center of the celebrations that precede Christmas, the day in which the Apostle of Love and Peace was born. Our celebrations take place this year, the minister said, bringing a message of existence and coexistence. Let's continue to pray so that the Star of Bethlehem will continue to shine, leading the world along the path of justice. Christmas carols, intoned by the choir of the Seminary of the Latin Patriarchate of Beit Jala, concluded the event. Dancing, singing, and also acting. These little artists are preparing for Christmas. The stage for the Festival of Talents was set up at the John Paul II Foundation.
Abbiamo approfittato che il Natale davvero che porta la pace nel cuore.
We take advantage of the fact that Christmas really brings peace in our hearts, to share the joy of Jesus that is born within us and bring peace to the whole world at this time when we really need it.
Che in questo momento noi abbiamo bisogno veramente.
Even the youngest show that they don't lack the talent, even more when it comes to celebrating Christmas of the Lord.
It's a very nice, really, because Jesus born here in Bethlehem, the Peace City, and I'm from the Peace City, so It's amazing. I'm very happy, really. I want to thank everybody who helps me to do everything I did it now.
Living stones of the Holy Land that behind the Christmas lights suffer for the political and social problems of the place where they live. This is the second festival promoted by the John Paul II Foundation in which children participate. During the year, we teach these children music, dances, languages, many things, and before Christmas they make this party. The children of Bethlehem, as you all know, need a smile, a party, to feel like children, and I think this party has become for them their party. And so, even in the midst of difficulties, the children of Bethlehem learn to love and to be proud of the land in which Jesus was born. And precisely for this reason, the attention of the Church and of the custody of the Holy Land in regards to the local Christians is constant. Last Saturday, another event, which involved the youth this time, had the purpose of preparing the boys for the Lord's Christmas. 120 young people gathered from Nazareth, Ramallah, Jerusalem, Jericho, Beit Jala, and also from here, from Bethlehem. The day began with a morning of reflections on the theme, Lord, in your light we see the light. It is a very important theme for today's young people because without the Christmas of Jesus, which is his presence in our hearts, we cannot understand many things in our lives. We have this light of God. He said, I am the light of the world, and we want this light to enlighten our life, our history, to make us see good everywhere. Later, the boys had the opportunity to pray in the cave of the Basilica of the Nativity, in front of the star that indicates the place where Jesus was born. They knelt and expressed their intentions. The group then went out in procession to the Shepherd's Field, where, with the adoration of the Blessed Sacrament, confession and Mass, presided over by the Custos of the Holy Land, Father Francesco Patton, this spiritual journey ended.
Siamo a Betlemme, nel campo dei pastori, il luogo dove la notte in cui nacque il bambino Gesù, i pastori stavano vegliando e facendo la guardia al loro gregge. L'Evangelista Luca ci racconta che quando Maria dà alla luce Gesù, sono proprio questi pastori a ricevere per primi l'annuncio della sua nascita. Un angelo si reca da loro, una grande luce li avvolge e loro si spaventano. Ma il messaggero di Dio li rasserena, non temete, ecco vi annuncio una grande gioia che sarà di tutto il popolo. Oggi, nella città di Davide, è nato per voi un Salvatore, che è Cristo Signore. Questo per voi il segno, troverete un bambino avvolto in fasce, adagiato in una mangiatoia. In quella notte del primo Natale, le tenebre in cui vivevano i pastori e la gente di Betlemme furono illuminati dalla nascita del bambino Gesù. Oggi ancora abbiamo bisogno di lasciarci illuminare dalla nascita di questo bambino che è il Figlio di Dio e il nostro Salvatore. Quante persone ancora oggi vivono circondate dalle tenebre come i pastori che vegliavano in questo campo 2000 anni fa. I nostri fratelli e le nostre sorelle in Siria e in Yemen, come in molti altri paesi del mondo, vivono ormai da molti anni nelle tenebre di conflitti sanguinosi che trasformano milioni di persone in sfollati, in rifugiati sradicati dalla propria famiglia e dalla propria cultura, cacciati dalla propria patria e spesso nell'impossibilità di trovare accoglienza in una nuova terra. Tanti altri nostri fratelli in umanità vivono nelle tenebre causate dalle crisi economiche ed ecologiche che mettono in ginocchio intere popolazioni e spesso costringono a emigrare. E anche per loro si ripete l'esperienza di Giuseppe, di Maria e del bambino. Non c'è posto per loro in nessun luogo, al massimo sotto una tenda. E c'è chi la tenebra la porta dentro, una tenebra che a volte è frutto dell'aver subito violenza, altre volte è frutto invece delle proprie scelte sbagliate, altre ancora dell'incapacità di accettare qualche esperienza dolorosa della vita. C'è infine la tenebra del peccato, della lontananza da Dio, del voler fare a meno di Lui o del vivere come se Lui non esistesse. Tenebre che si trasformano presto nel rifiuto del fratello o della sorella, del suo diritto a esistere, del riconoscimento della sua dignità di persona dal primo istante del concepimento fino all'ultimo respiro che dona il Creatore. Tenebre che accomunano chi vive in ogni parte del mondo. Tenebre che sono almeno in parte dentro ciascuno di noi. Il bambino Gesù non è venuto a illuminare solamente la notte dei pastori qui a Betlemme, periferia delle periferie 2000 anni fa. Il bambino Gesù continua a illuminare la notte di ognuno di noi e dell'intera umanità. Possa la luce del bambino di Betlemme entrare nella coscienza e nell'esistenza di ciascuno di noi, nelle nostre famiglie e nelle nostre comunità. Possa la sua luce illuminare tutti i popoli e i fedeli di ogni religione che stanno desiderando Lui, che a tentoni lo stanno cercando. Possa Egli illuminare la coscienza di coloro che governano le nazioni e l'economia e aiutarli a scoprire che governare è prendersi cura di chi è più piccolo, di chi è più fragile, di chi è senza tutela. Possa il bambino di Betlemme illuminare l'azione di chi fa cultura e comunicazione perché diffondano il messaggio del bene. Buon Natale dal campo dei pastori vicino a Betlemme. Buon Natale dal luogo del primo annuncio della nascita del Salvatore. Buon Natale dal luogo in cui gli angeli hanno cantato gloria a Dio nell'alto dei cieli e pace in terra agli uomini che Egli ama. Buon Natale a ciascuna e ciascuno di voi, alle vostre famiglie e alle vostre comunità.